Hello, my name is Ezekiel, and this is some pretty good coffee here at Buzzmill in San Marcos, Texas.
To the right. If you go there, to the right.
Inside. I do any. Most people who hear it for the first time say it's very obviously Celtic influenced, but I would also say that there's just a lot of like indie folk type feel to it with that Celtic influence as well. Of Monsters and Men is definitely the biggest musical influence on my own music. Some others would also be Jose Gonzalez, Ben Howard. Those are the main ones. Yeah, right now I've been working on recording my first concept album. So it's been kind of off and on for several months because I am recording here in San Marcos, and so I have to make the trip up from McAllen when I have time and when my producer and I can schedule together. The concept kind of came along later, and it was all very, very organic in how it formed. All of the songs on the album were written, several months to even, several years apart, and it was just by chance that one day I was compiling a set list to perform for a gig, and I realized that they all kind of form one big story, and that story seems to be, about identity and finding oneself. And I say seems because it kind of told me what it would be about, and so sometimes I still question it, like, well, maybe there's something else going on or whatever, but it really is just about identity, I suppose. I feel that my music is very much about escaping from reality, and so when people watch me perform or when they listen to my music, I would love if they could get into a kind of daydream and just kind of float away, I guess, and just know that whatever the lyrics may be about, based on real world situations, that you don't necessarily have to live it in reality. You can separate and be in this safe space, I guess, of this fantasy world, and still find solace or answers for your real world situation. Definitely Cottage by the Sea, which will be the first track of the concept album, and that's the most like Celtic sounding one, I guess. And it's my favorite simply because it's pretty straightforward, and when I wrote it, I kind of thought, well, this doesn't really suit what I'm doing right now. But then a friend of mine actually said, well, maybe it does. And so then I kind of experimented with it, and it's kind of shaped later songs that came along. Well, a lot of my songs incorporate looping, which was inspired by Ed Sheeran, and I actually researched, which looper he used to use, and I went out and I bought that one, and I started experimenting with it, and so a lot of my songs either have like tracks that I recorded, not live, at home or whatever, but just as many, I create the loops live, and I play them like that. If you ever find yourself in McAllen, check me out on Facebook and meet me at a show, and keep an eye out for new content.